Calvin Klein, Rag & Bone, Baldwin, even an Oscar de la Renta sweater. How do I, a university student, able to afford top brands and top quality items on my student budget? Let me tell you. So if you don't know, bonjour, I'm Maylene. I am a university student in my last 2 semesters here in the Midwest, although I'm currently in my hometown living with my mother due to coronavirus and also my classes being totally online. As a university student, I don't necessarily need these things. However, what I'm studying and me being in my senior year or super senior year for me, I need to start investing in clothing items and items that are good quality for my future. I also am currently a marketing student, so I do go into the office once a week and I need to look presentable. The office is the headquarters, so for me that is a very important role. Even though I'm just an intern, I need to look presentable. I work with a supervisor and COO. Also at university, what I study, I'm not going to specifically go into it, but I have 2 majors, 2 minors, and 2 certificates. So far, I've completed almost everything except for 1 major and 1 minor. For the major that I'm completing right now, it's in business. For my business degree, we don't need to necessarily dress up to go to class. However, before COVID, as a senior, I was already doing opportunities off campus that needed for me to dress up. Another one of my degrees is in music. You need to dress up in a certain attire, whether that be all black, formal wear. You have to go to different music events, whether it be meeting the people that are performing at someone's banquet or going to a performance for your studies. Although that's not really common, for me it was common enough that I needed to do that. And on a student budget, I just cannot afford having a new outfit every time. So now I have a pretty good collection of a mid to high-end wardrobe, and in that the collection includes things like common upper mid brands such as Tommy Hilfiger, Polo Ralph Lauren, Antonio Milani, Gianni Bini, but also it includes some high-end items such as Calvin Klein, Rag & Bone, Baldwin, even an Oscar de la Renta sweater. So how did I get these things? How did I get these items to build my business closet on my budget? Let me tell you. So I also have a disclaimer. I have nothing against brands like H&M or Forever 21 being in your closet. However, I do not believe those are sustainable clothing items and are good pieces to invest in. The reason for high-end and higher middle-end brands that I am buying is to invest in these pieces to have for a long time. Yes, you're gonna have some H&M products like t-shirts or maybe even some sweaters. University students don't have time or money to be investing in a whole bunch of these things. So I'm going to start out with a very basic thing that probably most people know. It's thrifting. Just because it's secondhand and used doesn't mean that it's not good quality. There's probably a reason why it's able to be in a thrift shop. It has lasted the test of time, and also it's still in good quality. So my red sweater from Oscar de la Renta is thrifted, and it was in amazing condition when I first got it. And that was maybe around 3 years ago. Now it's a little bit worn, you can tell, but for the price I paid, it's not too bad. I got that piece for $2. From my quick research, this Oscar de la Renta sweater could have retailed anywhere from $550 to around $800. So $2 is not bad at all for a timeless piece. I also have been able to get a lot of cute small pieces from thrifting, but none of them are really high end or things that I thoroughly enjoy and I believe will stand the test of time. For me, thrifting is more of my passive income. If you saw before, my thrifting from Depop and what I do with that is another way how I am able to afford some of these things. So another one of my favorite things to do is to shop at department stores. You can find a lot of really good quality things for a really cheap price. But you're probably wondering, I know about the quality, but what about the cheap price? For me, I enjoy Dillard's a lot, and I'm going to use that as my example. Dillard's has some really good brands such as Antonio Milani and Gianni Bini, and also I'm wearing right now A Love A. For me, those are all middle higher brands, although they do have some Michael Kors stuff, Polo Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger. My favorite thing to do is go for their sale. I'm not talking about 15% off, 20% off, or even 50% off. I'm talking 65% off, 75% off, 80% off. For me as a student, I would never go to a department store and shop the regular price items. I would never even go to a regular store and shop those regular priced items. I always go straight towards the clearance section or any sales section because my budget doesn't allow me to shop in those areas at the moment, but hopefully one day I will. You can always do your research and see when the sale sales are. They have this great sale where everything is 65% off, and then they add an additional 40% off on top. So this definitely equals more than your regular 15% off. So I'm able to afford things for like $15 from when they were originally somewhere close to $200. You know, that goes from $200 to their sale clearance to their 65% off to their 40% off. And overall, that just makes a really big difference. And that's how I'm able to afford some of these things. You're not going to get any sale, or you're not going to be able to do what I do if you're lazy and you don't plan. As a university student, I've learned how hard money is to come by, even though I'm privileged enough to have parents that will help me whenever I need, how to prioritize my needs over wants. And as a business student, I've learned how much money can impact something or someone. So another thing I also really love to do is go to outlets and also go to closing sales. Sadly, because of COVID, a lot of stores are closing their door. However, this is a great opportunity for me and other university students and people who are on a budget. There is one store in particular in our neighborhood which is known for selling more mature type of clothing, such as Karen Scott. For me, those are just not my style, and those are definitely for a more mature audience. However, they do have things like Casper, Calvin Klein, Nine West. Even some of those things like Karen Scott, there are a few pieces in there that could be worn by a younger audience. With this closing sale, I was able to go in there and I spent 2 hours in there just finding some things. I was able to find a Casper black blazer for around $12. Originally, it was $130, I think. I also bought 2 pairs of shoes. One of them is heels that I could potentially use for work, and the other one is also a heel but more for summer, and each pair ended up being $8 when originally they were in the $70 range. So I would have never known this or never done this if I wasn't open-minded and open and aware about the neighborhood that I live in. You're never going to be able to find these items and these pieces if you're not willing to look around and go into stores that you're not comfortable in or you don't regularly shop in. Then for the outlet stores, I love outlet malls and outlet stores. However, don't be fooled by outlet stores. We've learned in business that outlet stores are not really a sale place, but whereas the distributor is wanting to get rid of items and send excess to those places also. So outlets are a great place, but don't expect to find everything you want, every single trending thing item in there. Most likely, those trending things are only going to be in their main stores. However, you can still find really great things, and if they're truly a timeless classic piece, it doesn't matter what season you get them in. A lot of these places also have membership points online and coupons, and it's just something you have to find. All you need to give most likely is just your email address and your name. Sometimes I don't even give my full first name or last name, and I just use abbreviations because I don't like to give out personal information like that. And finally, the last thing is budget. For me, I do a little bit more vague, and I don't do price exactly. Once you think about what you're going to do in the next few months and what you're planning to do in your future, you suddenly realize these fast fashion items that you need, you really don't. It's just a want. I started working my internship and quickly realized I needed more professional items because I had originally just used fast fashion or athletic wear. It takes a little bit of growing up as a person and also realizing what you need. For me, I'm going to be working business in the future, so I need business items. It's always safe to buy basics such as black, white, blue, but I also like a little bit of color. Like you can see this shirt. I have a little bit of pattern, I have a little bit of color, and it's kind of timeless colors. I'm not buying anything too bright, too fad-y, and I'm buying things that I can see myself wearing in the next 5 years, so my price per wear will go down. In the end, this is also about making money. The reason to buy these quality items and timeless pieces is so in the end, if you don't need them anymore, they're easy to resell. So for instance, I know my Oscar de la Renta sweater, I can always resell that on Depop and it will get me some revenue. It's basically just being smart and thinking about your future. So I really hope this video helps you and also helps you start thinking about your future budget, and your future wardrobe. If you want to see more videos about how I make money on Depop, check out my channel. Bye!